You know that situation where two people clash not because they're alike, but precisely because they think in completely different ways? Rome and Sparta were like that. Sparta was like a warrior who lives only to fight, rigid, disciplined, cold, with almost no room for emotion. From a young age, boys were trained as soldiers, and their lives revolved around war. Rome, on the other hand, seemed more open at the start. It was a republic that valued debate, political strategy, and adaptability. But don't be fooled. The Romans knew how to fight too. The difference is they used their brains as much as their muscles. While the Spartans relied on the past, the Romans bet on the future. And it was this more flexible and strategic way of acting that made Rome grow, by observing, learning, and absorbing what worked in others. Even in Sparta, they didn't just want to win a war, they wanted to last for centuries. Hold on. Before we continue, I need your help. YouTube only shows this video to more people if there's a lot of interaction. In other words, without your comment, this knowledge might get buried and never reach those who need it. If this content makes sense to you, comment 1. If you disagree, comment 0 and tell me why. I want to see at least 100 comments here so that YouTube understands this topic needs to be spread. So leave your comment now and be part of this mission to reveal the secrets of ancient Rome. Now yes, let's talk about power. Many people think Rome became great just because it had a strong army, but that's not quite it. The real strength of the Romans was in the intelligence with which they organized everything. Roads, laws, alliances, even how they treated conquered peoples. They didn't just want to destroy, they wanted to absorb. They knew that a defeated enemy could become an ally, if treated with respect and interest. And that's how Rome grew, connecting everything like a web. Sparta, on the other hand, was an isolated island of strength, and whoever isolates themselves weakens over time. Rome understood that early on. At first glance, it seems strange. How could a people as strong as the Spartans simply lose ground? The answer lies precisely in what they valued most: rigidity. Sparta was like a wall, imposing, hard to tear down, but totally inflexible. And over time, the world around them started changing. New powers rose, new alliances were formed, strategies evolved, and Sparta stayed still, stuck in its old model of military glory, unable to keep up. Meanwhile, Rome did the opposite. It changed, learned, absorbed. Sparta didn't accept change, Rome lived off it. And when two powers meet, one that adapts and one that insists on repeating the same formula, the outcome is predictable. Spartan rigidity, once a strength, became a weakness. Rome saw that and used it to its advantage. This may be the most surprising part of the story. Rome didn't defeat Sparta by being physically stronger. It won by being more strategic. While the Spartans put everything into brute force and hand-to-hand combat, the Romans thought beyond the battlefield. They knew a war could be won before the first sword was even drawn, through alliances, deals, information, and political manipulation. Rome surrounded the enemy with diplomacy, isolated them from allies, gained support from those who were dissatisfied, and when they finally attacked, they had already won half the battle. Sparta was direct, Rome was calculated. It's like one played chess, and the other tried to settle everything with punches. And in the end, the one who thinks more wins more. Rome knew that and used it as a weapon. And here's the irony. Sparta, the symbol of war, ended up defeated without Rome ever needing to become like them. While Sparta intimidated with the sword, Rome conquered with persuasion. That's right. One of Rome's biggest secrets to success was knowing when to use force and when to use charm. Many times, Rome would approach a people and instead of forcing submission, offer something in return: citizenship, protection, access to trade, stability. It was almost like saying, you can keep living your life as long as you recognize that Rome is in charge. And believe it, many accepted, because deep down it worked. While Sparta demanded blind obedience, Rome offered a place within a greater system. Of course, it wasn't always peaceful, and there were brutal wars, but Rome understood something Sparta ignored. Conquering territory is easy. Keeping it is the hard part, and for that you need more than soldiers. You need emotional intelligence, political savvy, and a bit of patience. And in that, Rome was unbeatable. Imagine two cities after a war. In one, everything is in ruins. In the other, new roads, aqueducts being built, markets running. Guess which one was built by Rome? That was the difference. Sparta saw victory as the finish line, defeat the enemy, and it's over. Rome saw victory as the beginning of transformation. After conquering a territory, the Romans started building infrastructure, temples, public roads, sewage systems. And it wasn't just to show off power. It was a way to integrate that people into the empire. They said, without having to say, look what happens when you're with Rome. That created a sense of belonging, even pride. Sparta didn't do that. It left no legacy, only scars. Rome left roads that still exist today, and that says a lot about the kind of empire each one wanted to be. One wanted to be feared, the other, eternal. You know that saying, haste makes waste? Sparta was always in a rush. It wanted to solve everything quickly, with impact, with immediate force. Rome was patient. It acted like someone planting a tree. It knew it wouldn't harvest the next day, but also knew the result would be gigantic over time. The Romans understood that history isn't built in a single battle. It's a sum of decisions, strategies, and gradual progress. While Sparta shone in isolated moments, Rome built a legacy step by step. And the curious thing is, even when they lost, the Romans learned. Every defeat became a lesson. Sparta, on the other hand, wasn't used to losing, and when it fell, it didn't know how to get back up. Rome fell many times, and rose every single one. That's how it stopped being just an ordinary republic and became the greatest empire of antiquity. Because whoever masters time, masters everything. For a long time, just hearing the name Sparta made enemies think twice before attacking. And rightly so. They were truly feared. But here's the problem. When you believe your reputation will protect you forever, you start to let your guard down. And that's exactly what Sparta did. It thought its invincible reputation was enough. But the world around was changing, fast. New forms of combat, new alliances, new empires. And Sparta stood still, relying on a name that no longer scared like it used to. Rome, on the other hand, didn't wait for recognition. It sought evolution. It didn't live in the past. It kept building the future. While the Spartans thought they were ready, the Romans kept preparing. The result? When conflict, direct or indirect, came, Sparta was caught off guard. Not because it was weak, but because it underestimated those who were hungry to grow. Rome didn't just want to defeat Sparta, it wanted to surpass it. And it did. That might be one of the biggest differences in Roman mentality. While other empires tried to erase the cultures they conquered, Rome did the opposite. It observed, learned, and incorporated. If a people had better construction techniques, the Romans adopted them. If the religion was strong, they added those gods to their own pantheon. If the combat style was effective, they copied and improved it. With Sparta, the logic was different. Either you fit into the Spartan mold, or you were discarded. That created resistance. Rome, by allowing people to keep part of their identity, even under Roman rule, created something valuable: belonging. People began to see themselves as part of Rome, not just as the conquered. That meant fewer rebellions, more cooperation. And with that, Rome grew without needing to destroy everything all the time. An empire that respects what is different tends to last longer, and Rome knew that very well. Sparta was powerful, no one doubts that. But Rome went beyond strength. It understood that in the end, what moves? The world isn't just war, it's human behavior. It's knowing when to act, when to step back, when to unite instead of dominate. Rome wasn't perfect, far from it, but it had a rare skill, learning from others and turning weaknesses into foundations. That's how it built an empire that lasted for centuries. Sparta flashed like lightning. Rome was the fire that never went out. If you made it this far, it's because you value knowledge. So hit the like button now. It shows that you're with us in this mission to spread the true history. And before you go, there's a video appearing on your screen that will make you look at Rome in a completely different way. Click it now. You'll be surprised by what's been hidden for centuries. See you there.